Joining me live from Furman University, Professor of Politics and International Affairs, Brent Nelsen. Brent, there's so many places we could start, but let's begin with this Japanese visit and its importance. Good morning.
Well, it is interesting. Japan is probably one of the few countries that hasn't been threatened with a tariff yet, even though they do run a bit of a trade deficit with the United States. But it looks like Donald Trump feels like he can make some deals with natural gas and things like that to even some of that out. But yes, here in the States, it, it's a new alarm every day. Something is going off someplace, and we always wake up every morning wondering what the president has said overnight to shake up the world. So it's very interesting.
Yep, there's so much happening. It's almost which way do you look? But let's look at Gaza and the reaction, the world's reaction to Donald Trump's comments about how he will rebuild it. There's been a little bit of winding back of the comments, but it stands as far as he's concerned.
Yes. Again, there's so many details that would have to be outlined in some detail, but it looks like right now the president has walked back his comments about actually putting American troops on the ground. So there would have to be some arrangement with the Israelis or some other countries to actually move people out and defend the territory. We in the United States aren't sure what to do with the things that Donald Trump says. Do we believe it, or is he really just trying to shake things up so that something new can grow out of the chaos? This is one of those cases where I think he's just shaking things up. He wants something new to come out of there. He wants to get the other Arab countries involved, and it doesn't mean he doesn't have some design on the area. But I don't really think that the plan that is outlined at this point is actually workable. But it may spark new ideas that could move the process forward. That would be the optimistic scenario.
What about the tariff situation? Because so much, we were in this chair or I was in this chair last weekend, and all the talk about Canada and Mexico. And then shortly after that, he had discussions with the leaders of both countries, and they were both put on hold.
Yes. Well, again, are the threat of tariffs just a bargaining ploy? Are they just the opening round of bargains that will work behind the scenes? It seems to be the case, at least with Canada and Mexico. We're still waiting on Europe and the European Union to see what kind of tariffs will be, I guess, threatened at that point, and see what kind of deals go on behind the scenes. But I think this is where Donald Trump is going to have to be careful, because if he always threatens something and never actually carries it through, or everybody just sees everything he says as a bargaining ploy, they're going to drive harder bargains. So it's an interesting time. We're going to have to see how things shake out. It's going to take more than 100 days to figure out how things shake out.
So much was made of the age of Joe Biden. In June, Donald Trump turns 79. When do you think that will become part of the conversation?
I suppose when Donald Trump starts slowing down or can't walk to the podium anymore. It was obvious with President Biden. It isn't quite as obvious with Donald Trump, but clearly he is getting older. And, he's already a lame duck, at least according to the Constitution. He can't run again. So we won't be looking for him to try to make campaign speeches in 4 years, or I guess 3 years. So it won't be quite the same as Joe Biden. I do suspect that Donald Trump has a little bit more energy than Joe Biden at this age. And so at this point, we don't suspect that age will be an issue in the near future.
It's certainly a time full of news, Brent. Every day is a headline. Always good to chat. Let's do it again soon.